Lucy Abaka. Sherry Davis. Here. Bug Jones.
Here.
Amy.
Barry here.
Amy.
Hi.
Stacy M. Bob Mergel or someone from State Parks. Greg Jewell.
Present.
Here.
Vince Guthrie.
Here.
Janie is here for Deborah Strickland, so thank you, Janie. Chad Taylor.
Here.
Sheva Gabor.
Here.
Kenny Owens and for Miles.
Miles is here too.
Miles is also online.
Oh, hi, Miles.
Yes.
We have double mute and that's all. Perfect. We have a forum.
All right, we have a forum. Very good. And remember, if you're going to speak during the meeting, just make sure you state your name so the floor is doing the minutes and get that correct. Okay, agenda item 3, review and approval of the minutes from the October 9th, 2025 meeting. You all have a copy of that. Meeting from the October 9th Advisory Board on Outdoor Recreation. Are there any questions or comments about the minutes? I have a motion to approve the minutes.
This is Amy Berry. So moved.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Aye.
Motion carries. The minutes are approved. Yes, there's some other minutes, in November. We'll take a look at those at the next. Item number 4, review and approval of the agenda. Are there any questions or comments about the agenda we're going to talk about today? We have a motion to approve the agenda for today.
This is Vincent Guthrie. I move to approve the agenda.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Okay, we have a motion and a second on the agenda to approve it. Any questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Our agenda is approved. All right, item number 5. Public comment. Public comment is limited to 3 minutes per person. Public may request that items be added to future agendas and so on and so forth. Are there anybody in here want to participate in public comment? Seeing none, where else would we have public? Online? Anybody online? Hearing none. Any other locations? That's it. Okay, I see no public comments, so we'll move on to agenda item 6, the advisory board. Welcome, introductions, comments from the chair. Well, welcome everybody to ELKO. Thank you for being here. I was checking the weather. It was supposed to be pretty bad. Looks like it's not going to be too bad while we're here. It's actually a good day today. So always good to be in ELKO, Nevada. Just want to thank everybody for putting this meeting together. It's in conjunction with the Rural Roundup. So we'll be invited to that. Obviously, if you don't want to attend Rural Roundup and participate, we'd be happy to have you. I've been traveling all over the state like I normally do, but I'm not going to get into every place I've been to. There is one item I would like to spend a little bit of time on. Comments for me is the last legislative session, and Denise was involved in this, and it was Garrett works in my office, so it's kind of his idea that one of my bill draft requests was a bill to allow school districts to create outdoor recreation curriculum that students could go through at high school level, complete that curriculum, whatever they come up with, and actually get credit for it towards graduation. So that bill passed and signed by the governor. Garrett's been taking the lead, and what we're trying to do is get every single county in the state of Nevada, every single school board county, to put together some sort of policy that will allow them to create outdoor recreation curriculum that is specific to that county that they would like their students to go through and actually get high school credit for it to graduate. So we think that's a great idea to get kids outdoors. It gives them an incentive to get outdoors, and that's what this group is all about, is getting people to get outdoors. And not only get outdoors, but spend time protecting the environment. That's got to be a big part of what we do, is protecting the environment so people can enjoy it and they have access to it, but they're not destroying it. So Garrett has been taking the lead on it. He's doing a great job. The first county that he reached out to, Lyon County, to ask them to pursue this. He's been working with them, and we have good news, and I'm going to turn it over to Garrett, who's going to explain the good news and what's going to happen next.
Thanks, LG. Yeah, again, Garrett Tamani with the Lieutenant Governor's Office. So everyone in here has a letter from the Lieutenant Governor in front of them. And I didn't print out a bunch of packets because they're kind of long, but I have some packets if anyone is interested in reading through it. It's kind of just a rough draft right now, but this is a fully inclusive guide for students on how to get that credit. So students in 7th through 12th grade in Lyon County are now able to use this to come up with their own learning plan. It has tips for success for them. It has approval forms for the parent guardian. They'll need to get a school mentor. They'll log their activities, and they have to show evidence of learning at the end of their project. And they get a half credit for every 60 hours that they complete. They can get a maximum of 2 credits for all of 7th through 12th grade. And it's any outdoor activity that contributes to outdoor education, outdoor recreation, environmental sustainability. So it could be park cleanups. We actually put in the Lyon County policy that they can get hours for completing their hunter safety education, going on a hunting trip, going fishing, joining a shooting club. So it's really whatever the student's interested in that gets them outside. And like the Lieutenant Governor said, Lyon County was the first county to pass this policy, but we're really excited about it because now we have a formal written policy that's gone through the process, and any other county that wants to pick it up can take that same policy and pass it without any changes, or they can specify it to their own county.
Yeah, so that's great news. Give Garrett a nice round of applause. So what we need from all of you is I would ask that if you can, take the lead in your county. If you know any school board members in your county, personally, if you could take the lead, Garrett will support you and try to get that school board to do what Lyon County did. We already have a blueprint for them. They don't have to reinvent anything, but they have to take it up. They have to vote on it. They have to approve it. Maybe there's some specific outdoor recreation areas that they want their kids to focus on. But if there's anybody in here that can help us take the lead and try to get every single county in the state of Nevada to approve this, I think it would be a big deal for this body, this advisory board, to kind of take the lead on this. So keep that up. Garrett is at your disposal if you need him or anything, but I would, I'd love to say at the next meeting, Chad took the lead in his county and got it passed, and kudos to Chad or anybody else that wants to do that. Or if you don't want to do it and you know a school board member and you want them to take the lead, that's fine too. Well, however you want to handle it, I think this would be a big deal for our advisory board to kind of take the lead and push this forward. So
There's one other thing we could use everyone's help with on the board, and that's helping us identify statewide or local resources for the students. So, BLM has any programming for the students, or state parks is doing, park cleanups. If we could help get that information out to the students in the counties that have passed through policies. That way the students are getting a good quality outdoor education.
Okay. So we really can't have any discussion on this. It's just a report. So if you want to talk to me after the meeting or talk to Garrett, please, I want you to kind of take this seriously, because this can be a big deal for to really push outdoor recreation with our youngsters in the state. That's all I have on agenda item 6. Agenda item 7, the division updates. This is for discussion only. Denise, all yours. I just did. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good morning, Denise Baronio, Administrator for the Nevada Division of Outdoor Recreation. Just a reminder, if you guys are going to speak or comment, please make sure you state your name first. For the record, I'd like to introduce our new director of the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, Vincent Guthrow. He can go ahead and introduce himself. Vince, if you have a second.
I do, yeah, thank you. This is Vincent Guthrow. Some of you may know me. I served as the executive director of NACO, the Nevada Association of Counties. The governor appointed me, very honored by the appointment. I have probably 25 years of experience in some sort of local or state government. I actually worked for the department as the PIO in 2008. Very, very much looking forward to continuing the great work that this department does. Look forward to my participation on this board, and appreciate the introduction by Denise. So thank you all for the time. Look forward to serving.
Thank you. And then also from Nye County, sitting in for Deborah Strickland, is Janie Reeves. So Janie, if you'd like to introduce yourself and what you do.
Hi, everyone. I'm from Visit Trump. I'm the tourism coordinator for the town of Corrupt and excited to be here.
Thank you. And then we also have some other fill-ins, Sherry Davis from the governor's office, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
And then Director of Rural Economic and Community Development, and outside is my favorite place, so I'm absolutely thrilled to be here, so.
Thank you very much. And then we've seen Bobby Jones on several of our newer grant reviews, and so Bobby has been appointed by Alan Schneid to represent NDOW. Bobby, go ahead and just like formally introduce yourself.
Bobby Jones, Nevada Department of Wildlife. I'm in Reno. I'm our outdoor connection coordinator. So fits with the group. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that I missed that would like to do an introduction on the board? Yeah. Maurice is here. I got her. I got Bob Miguel's online. Amy's here. I checked out everybody. Hi. Thank you guys for being here. Okay, great.
Okay, now we're on agenda item 7. Vision update.
Okay, just actually it's going to be quick for me. So wanted everyone to note that Kendall is not with us today. She left the division and has gone to Great Basin Institute. So I'm sure we're going to cross paths with her in the future. And she's there as an educator for Great Basin. So right up her alley. So we wish her well. Elizabeth and I are splitting, dividing and conquering all of the projects work that she was doing. So sorry, I won't steal your thunder. You can talk about it. I'm doing the Outdoor Education Council that she was looking at. So I'll let you talk about what you're doing on your end to split that work that Kendall has been doing. I have been giving several presentations about our economic impact analysis, which has been so amazing to share with the state. It's really been on everyone's radar. We have had meetings with both Senator Rosen's office. We got an invitation from Elizabeth and I attended a meeting with her for tourism, natural recreation. And then last week I got to meet with the Secretary of the Department of Interior, Doug Burgum, about outdoor recreation. So that was also super exciting to have us there. And everyone's finally realizing the importance of outdoor recreation. We have surpassed mining. We are now the number 2 industry in the state. So I mean, just super exciting. And seeing how we can elevate and maybe make some sort of great hybrid model between tourism and outdoor recreation and gaming and all of our, the great opportunities that we can help provide to the state to really boost the economy. We're going to need it here pretty soon. So in your packets here, if you're a board member, you have this little mini version of our economic impact summary. It's not too many, but it's kind of many. I mean, the study is technically over 750 pages if you add Fred's study into it. This is about 12 pages. I would like for you guys to read through this if you could. This is just a prototype. This is not for marketing yet, but I will send it to everybody online. So the feedback, this is kind of our last opportunity to read this. This is just supposed to be high-level economic impact information that people can take and share and provide kind of talking points to give, their presentation, or they want to highlight to their congressional district or their county or community the importance of outdoor recreation. These are it's the summary and key takeaways. So if everybody could get back to me by the end of this week, I would appreciate that. I think a quick read would probably take you about half an hour. So again, this is not for sharing yet, but I will send it to everybody online. So this is going to be our final opportunity to provide feedback to the contractor before we make this live. Any questions about this? The last thing I have to share is just so exciting, and Fred's here today from UNR to kind of help share in this great news that the Nevada Division of Outdoor Recreation has been working for about 3 years now with UNR to create an outdoor recreation degree, and it's finally happening through the College of Ag and Biotechnology and Natural Resources. So Kavner was able to come up with an outdoor recreation management degree that will launch this fall. It will be the first one in the state since it was at Sierra Nevada College when that merger happened a couple years ago. So just super exciting. We need to make sure to really advertise this as a vision and board to make sure that the turnout for students is robust. So we want to make sure that everyone knows the importance of this program. I'll share with you once they finalize the curriculum for that. Again, any feedback you have is welcome. Professors and for people to fill in to come and speak about public plans and entrepreneurship. So we reach out to the board for some opportunities with that. So
Elizabeth Johnson, Deputy Administrator. As Denise spoke to, we're kind of splitting that duties of what Kendall was filling as our grants and financial analyst. She was also kind of the education lead, taking point on education around outdoor recreation, getting kids outside. So I'm managing the grant portion right now for duties and our grants. So just helping grantees with their reimbursements, bringing in their progress reports. We're hoping to stay on schedule with that, right? Normally that would have next round would happen in August. And we are hoping that job get posted this week. Everything's been sent off to the powers that be, and we're just waiting for them to put it on the website so we can start recruiting for that. So we're really excited to just kind of get moving on that. But if in doubt of who to contact about what, just email both of us, and then amongst ourselves, Denise and I will go. I got that one. I'll get the next one sort of thing. So there's still kind of some left as we're just trying to making sure that everything's covered. But I'd also say that if maybe you had started conversations with her about maybe working on a project or anything like that, and you're like, oh, I wonder where that's at, please email us. There could be some things that we're just missing. So we want to make sure that we don't miss anything and don't drop the ball. So please feel free to reach out to us and be like, hey, I started this conversation about starting this new thing. We want to make sure that no opportunities are missed during this transition. And then kind of moving forward, I have a couple speaking opportunities coming up. So the Mountain West Trails Conference is the week of May 19th, and actually the whole team is going out there. So the Mountain West Trails Conference, it started in Utah, and then it rotates through the Mountain West states every 2 years. And the idea is that it's this collective conference of all the Mountain West states that we help put in on. And we make sure that all the states are represented, but also the idea that we're all kind of dealing with the same sort of stuff. The outdoor recreation, so it really provides this opportunity for us to share ideas and learn from each other. So this year it will be in Wyoming, and I'll be co-presenting with Utah's Division of Outdoor Recreation at that, speaking to how our state's policies are helping connect kids outdoors. So we'll be speaking to the outdoor recreation bill and other bills that have recently passed, and also just kind of work that we've been doing as a division at that conference. But we're hoping to bring that to Nevada in 2028. So we'll be. But if you have any interest, you can still register for that. Conference is a really great event. So I highly recommend that. And the first week of June, I'll be going to California Outdoor Economy Summit. So even though it is a California specific conference, they're wanting us to share what we've been doing in our states so that they can learn from us to kind of get some ideas from how we have been releasing outdoor recreation and the economic benefits that's been doing from our state. So I'll be there representing that. And then, I mean, just like, it's high level stuff. Make it work for a little bit. Is Mina doing good?
Afternoon, everyone. I'm Yasmina Sikonovich. As of January of this year, I'm an official state employee. 3 years, so happy to be finally part of the DCNR team. I'm officially under the Bureau of IT Services, but 90% of my work is still under NWORD, so I'm still a network team member. So with that, the last couple of months since January, we launched Trailside Services and our guides and services page. So if you have visited Nevada Trail Finder recently, you might see a new services tab up there. And now what we're trying to do is really promote outdoor recreation businesses across the whole state. So whether that be ATV guide services or boating guide services, say you need a mountain bike mechanic, those types of services will pop up as you're looking for trails. So it's a lot harder. This was something that Chelsea and I started a couple of years ago, was just kind of creating this business list, and now it's turned into Trailside Services. So it's been really fun. So if anybody hasn't seen that yet and would like to have their business on our website, you just make a free account and then add your business, and we'll kind of go through it and see. Next, along the same lines of Trail Finder, we've been working a lot with Tammy to create all the backcountry byways in Nevada. So we were missing some very important Trail Finder pages, which was all of our backcountry byways, which are really amazing ways to get people outdoors, kind of on some dirt roads in a safe way, because some of our trails are dangerous, but that the backcountry byways are. So we made a bunch of pages for that and collaborated on a new challenge badge. So now once you've completed all 7 of your backcountry byways, you get that kind of fun free digital badge. So thank you, Tammy, for that. Lastly, I've been working a lot with UNR for the GIS department, and working with their students, their capstone GIS students, to help us with some projects that will really kind of help enhance the Trail Finder things, basically the back end data aggregation and verification, so that we can continue to make sure that the trails that we see online are accurately reflected on the ground. And over the next few months, we're just going to continue to work on the Trailside Services, collaborating with land managers, help out with community kiosks and brochure maps, and continue to kind of present at various outdoor recreation conferences and events such as the Mountain West Trail Conference, which I'll be presenting on how do you map a rural state. So others in the town and successes there and really working with mapping with your community. So thanks. Katie.
Kate Barlow for the record. The OHB program continues to plug along. Our big news this round is that we just launched our next grant cycle. We're very excited about it. We made a lot of updates to some of the materials and stuff. The biggest one is that first time the OHB grant is entirely digital process now. So we've got a digital application and we're going to have digital reporting, and that's a huge step for us. So we're very excited about that. We're using an in-house system with a very funnily titled Nevada Infrastructure Financial System, right off the tongue. But it is in-house and we're really excited about it. And with this, we're doing a really big publicity push. We really are trying to get word of this grant out, trying to get some new grantees, trying to get some, anybody can apply to this. So we really are trying to share this information with anybody. So if you can shotgun this out to anybody, we would really appreciate it. Eligible projects are all have to be OHV related, but it can be anything from building staging areas, trail maintenance, safety training, safety training and like safety education, and then also some OHV law enforcement stuff and like NRS 490 enforcement. So there's a lot of opportunity there. And then we of course have more information on our website. This is our first grant cycle in a while, and we're seeing a lot of interest. We've already held one of our trainings where we had 18 participants, which was awesome to see. So I'm getting a lot of questions about it. I think it's going to be a really great grant. But again, if you guys know anybody or have any ideas for a project, please reach out to us. I'm happy to set up a meeting, set up a call, go over any ideas, and get some projects in. So with that, we're continuing to update our website. We put in a whole new grant page with a bunch of new resources. And then we've also partnered, this is a brand new thing, but we're also partnering with the Department of Ag to build out a best practices page on how to combat invasive species in regard to OHV. So we're going to have one section on Southern Nevada, one section on Northern Nevada, and it's like best practices and then follow-up information of where to report that. This happened last week, so it's very fresh, but we're very excited about it. And as always, too, we do have an education tab on our website. Right now, there's not a whole lot of education in there. So if you guys have ideas or things you would like to see that you think off-road users would find valuable, please let me know. I'm looking to build out some pages, and I really want to be a one-stop shop resource for everything OHV into that. And then finally, we've just been, with this publicity push, with this grant round opening, we've really just been trying to get the word out. We've been out tabling a lot. We got some new merch, which you can stop by the indoor table later and grab yourself a OHB koozie if you're so inclined. But we're just trying to hit as many tabling opportunities, get out, shake hands, talk to the public as much as possible. We're just down in Vegas last month for the Mint 400. It was the first time the OHB program has ever attended. It was awesome. We got to talk to 200 plus people, set up on Fremont. It was really cool. So again, if you have any events you'd like to see us at or events that you think it would be good for us to be at, please let me know. And finally, the last thing I'd like to say is that we now have Tyler Saunders, who's our management analyst. He's been helping out with all the financial side of things, and we're really happy.
You just want to introduce yourself again?
Yeah, so I'm Tyler Saunders. I'm the program analyst under Katie. I pretty much do like his right hand. It's help with everything. He's the backbone, but I'm the support with that. Yeah. I've been with the state for just over 15 years now. And then with.
Just it is.
Yeah. March 2011, so we're just over the 15 years now, so I'm halfway there. Retirement. Yeah, I've been with DCNR now since July of last year. Happy to be here. Thank you.
Chelsea, all
On to me?
and doing
Yes.
this.
For the record, my name is Chelsea Kinchel. I'm a program officer with the Nevada Division of Outdoor Recreation. So since we last met, we received a recreational trails program grant, which is very exciting, and it's for trails training. So we are offering this across the state, like anyone is open to attend. So it's Intro to Trails Building, a crew lead training, which just gives individuals the confidence and leadership and skills that they need to oversee like trail crews out on the ground. And then we're also doing a trails planning and design for that final training course. And we also have a Sawyer, which is a chainsaw, for those of you who are unfamiliar with that. So the U.S. Forest Service is leading that. That's our district, Mayberry. So very grateful for him. And then we also are offering CPR and first aid certifications because when you are swinging a lot of big heavy tools, you generally want to have some type of CPR and first aid training. So all of that is happening May through June. So we've been doing a big push to get that information out. And we've really been working with like volunteer organizations, trail organizations, land managers to make sure that everything that we are doing fits the needs of like the skill sets that are needed. So it is in a big way like our workforce development. And kind of like my goal with this is to apply for RTP kind of every year and start moving it around the state because we have a lot of trails in the state and we need skill sets to match the amount of trails that we have to build and maintain for both. So that's kind of a goal with that. So my other hat is dark skies. So we are still working on establishing a Nevada Dark Sky chapter with Dark Sky International. For those of you who don't know, Dark Sky International Week was last week. It was April 13th through 20th. And some very exciting news is we worked very closely with a lot of communities to get proclamations passed. So proclamations really shed a light, literally, on the importance of our dark skies. So last year we only had one community do a proclamation, and this year we had 6. So we're very excited. So Washoe County, Carson City, Ely, Nevada, Lincoln County did one, and then Galena, or no, sorry, it's not Galena, Genoa, Nevada also passed one. So as we get closer to International Dark Skies Week again next year, we'll be reaching out more and trying to do bigger pushes to get proclamations passed, just to really talk about the importance and really talk about how dark skies can benefit our communities as well. So we're working on it. It's very exciting. And then Friends of Nevada Wilderness. I don't know if you guys have seen this really cool license plate that has a family looking up at the stars around, but they have hit over 5,000. This is the Friends of Nevada Wilderness license plate. So it's now over 5,000 registrations. And now they have money and they're looking for ways to give it out. So they actually paid for our beautiful toolkits to be printed. So we had 150, now I think we're down to like 120 because we've been starting to kind of like give them out. And we also were able to secure what we call sky quality meters. So it's these little handheld devices that measure the quality of our night skies. So kind of my goal with this is to start collecting more real data on the ground with this. So we keep saying we have amazing dark skies. So now we're going to prove that we have really amazing dark skies. So we are trying to establish a lending library with these sky quality meters. So I'm still kind of figuring out the logistics. I've been talking to Dark Sky International about how they did their lending library. And so we'll have like updates for you guys soon. And then the final update is we closed out our Nevada Outdoor Recreation and Infrastructure Grant. Yay! Like that's been happening since 2023, I believe. And so what's some even more exciting news is that one of the projects is here in ELKO. And it was for a trailhead, and Leslie Creel, who's with us, is going to be talking about the Lamoille Trail Network that is up and coming, and a little bit about the trailhead itself. So that is all I have for updates.
And as a reminder that Nori's grant is made possible through a partnership with the Department of Tourism through the support EA grants that our state is able to receive. that we were able to kind of make this grant opportunity to put dollars into outdoor recreation infrastructure around the state. So it's what's the Johnson for the record?
That's it. Denise Baronio for the record. I would like to recommend to the board, if you would like to also have an opportunity for updates, I would love for us to have at least one meeting a year, maybe two, where we do a roundtable and everybody that's on our board gives like maybe like a 3 to 5 minute update. We do that in lieu of having a second speaker, or if you have time to do that in addition to having a second speaker. So that way we could hear what BLM's doing, U.S. Forest Service, GFO, the GOED is doing, and I think it would be great to hear from everybody on that. I mean, everybody we work with here on a regular basis. So if you guys are amenable to that, I think it would be a opportunity for the public also to hear what other agencies are doing that support. And so just a suggestion.
Great. Anybody online have any questions or comments from the presenters?
Sheva has her hand raised.
Hi,
Sheva.
Go ahead.
Sheva Gabor, U.S. Forest Service. Denise, I just wanted to share, I think that's a great idea, and the Forest Service would welcome the opportunity to provide those updates.
Thank you. Anybody else online?
Yeah, Amy Berry for the record. Thank you all for all the updates. It's amazing to see what your little team is able to accomplish and the energy, enthusiasm you all bring to all the work you do. So thanks. And also, Denise, I love that idea. There's a great group that you have together. It's great to have a kind of sharing network or learning network amongst all of us. So great idea.
Thank you. Anybody else online?
Hello, Maricia Baca for the record. I guess just piling on to the accolades. Thank you so much for the great presentations today. And I also very much agree. I think, Denise, that's a wonderful idea to take some time during meetings and get updates from all the wonderful members that you have here. I'd love to learn more about what my colleagues on this board are doing.
Anybody else online? Okay, how about in this room? Any questions or comments in here?
Chad Taylor, for the record. I'm going to comment and second everybody online, third and fourth. And amazing trip. I've been sitting around for about 3 years, almost on this board, watching, listening, and wondering at what time do I get to do something? How do I get at it? And I think what's happening is it's all coming together. The amount of work that you guys are doing throughout the community for the youth, for the state, sometimes I think it's too close to the real life. To happen, many people. And I'm watching it from the outside perspective and just connecting all the dots. And kudos to you. We have an opportunity as a state to travel all the West Coast states. And we have an opportunity as a state to set the bar, and you're doing that. And like we teach California to conserve water, now I'm going to teach them how to outdoor. Congratulations.
Anyone else? I guess everybody likes what I do. Okay, all right. Okay, thank you, everyone. Okay, we are on agenda item 8, presentation from Fred Steinman, discussion only. All right. Fred, it's all yours. Good way.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor and Chair, members of the board. My name is Fred Steinman. I currently serve as the director of the University Center for Economic Development and as an assistant research professor in the College of Business at the University of Nevada, Reno. It's a pleasure to be here today to share with you some of the work that we've been doing over the last couple of years, both with the Division of Outdoor Recreation, but some of our other partners, including the Governor's Office of Economic Development, obviously Travel in Nevada and the broader Nevada Department of Tourism and Cultural Affairs, as well as the various regional economic development authorities and other economic development organizations throughout the state of Nevada. Probably goes without saying that a Center for Economic Development based in the state of Nevada should be spending some time working in the broader tourism and hospitality sector, especially given the the importance of tourism and hospitality to the state's economic base. Preaching to the choir here, obviously tourism and hospitality, the broader sector, is Nevada's #1 sector, both in terms of economic contribution to state gross domestic product or total economic output, but also in terms of total employment, proprietor income, and total wages earned, both on an hourly and annual basis to individual workers throughout the state. Just in the last couple years, this is kind of a sampling.
Oops, I forgot to share the PowerPoint
Oh, gotcha.
for those online.
There we go.
There we go.
So this is kind of just a sampling of some of the work that we've been doing over the last couple of years to kind of measure the overall economic contribution and impact of tourism and hospitality on the state's economic base, but specifically outdoor recreation, as it has, as indicated earlier in the meeting, grown in its overall level of economic importance, and certainly not to just the state's economy, but also to the economy of local communities, counties, and specific regions throughout the state itself. Again, just a couple of things to kind of highlight here. We work very closely with the consultant as well as the division on this current economic impact of outdoor recreation. As the administrator noted, one of the bricks that we produced, the 700-page technical report as listed here, includes not only our work on our trade area analysis, but also a comprehensive statewide survey of outdoor recreation users and enthusiasts. One thing that we're currently working on completing is a statewide outdoor recreation playbook, going back to an outdoor recreation playbook summit that many of you attended back in October of last year, held up at the University of Nevada, Reno. Look forward to having that technical report done later this month and into early May. And right now, students in my BADM 779 graduate seminar in logistics and supply chain management, thanks to a grant from the Office of Workforce of Innovation and the Department of Employment, Training and Rehabilitation, are completing a comprehensive analysis of the supply chain and value network of the state's creative economy and its contribution to tourism, hospitality, and how that's interwoven with outdoor recreation and other parts of the state's economy. In fact, last night at 7 p.m. virtually, the students presented part 3 of their semester project, the Workforce Development Overlay. And on May 11th from 10 to 2 p.m. On the main campus of the university, they'll be presenting their results at a big symposium. I will make sure through the administrator that you get the invite packet with flyer and agenda. It's open to the public. No charge. We'll have a breakfast reception and then an afternoon reception. But this is the 5th one of these types of projects that we've done, going back to the tourism and hospitality one we did a number of years ago. These are just a general overview of the overall national economic impact that outdoor recreation has on the broader U.S. national economy. And you can see that since the pandemic, direct employment related to outdoor recreation across the United States has increased year over year. 2020, about 4.1 million jobs nationwide were directly tied to outdoor recreation. And in 2022, that has grown to about 5 million individuals directly employed in outdoor recreation. Really contributing total in both in terms of non-local travel and local travel as it relates to outdoor recreation. Combined total U.S. economic impact of about $228 billion in a single year. And this has been an estimate that has grown year over year, again, especially during the pandemic and post-pandemic, as individuals shifted a lot of their tourism and hospitality activities away from kind of indoor activity to the outdoor space. And that trend has continued. You know, individuals are now adding and continuing to add additional outdoor recreation activities as part of their more traditional tourism and hospitality activities throughout the United States. On the far right, you see kind of a breakdown of that economic contribution, the different kind of retail and service sectors that outdoor recreation directly contributes to. Not surprisingly, apparel and accessories, sporting events, concerts, amusements, parks, kind of tying again to the creative economy piece of it, RVing, game areas, boating and fishing, were the top contributing subsectors of retail and service as they directly relate to outdoor recreation. And again, broader contribution to retail sector, service sector, and other sectors of the US economy. I did want to highlight a couple things from the 2025 Nevada Tourism, Hospitality, Arts, and Culture Resident Sentiment Survey that you said we completed for the Department of Tourism and Cultural Affairs and Travel Nevada about a year ago. And for those of you who were at Rural Roundup last year, got to listen to me twice, give a full comprehensive overview of the results. But working with Director Scolari, Kyle Schultz, and others from Travel Nevada and the department, we wanted to also flush out some of those direct ties of outdoor recreation to the broader tourism and hospitality sector. So I've kind of pulled some results from that particular survey that we also use within the survey we did specifically for the economic impact study for the Division of Outdoor Recreation. Again, this survey was targeted to residents of the state of Nevada, so people who are full-time residents living throughout the state. Question 9 of the 2025 survey for the Department and Travel Nevada: which of the following attributes of your community do you think tourism, etc., have positively contributed to your community? And not surprisingly, or maybe surprisingly to some, outdoor recreation activities was the top response. 58% of survey respondents said the greatest positive contribution of tourism, hospitality, arts, and culture have been outdoor recreation activities. So again, more confirmation that outdoor recreation has really become a major direct driving force of tourism and hospitality activities throughout the state of Nevada. In question number 13 of this 2025 survey, we essentially asked the survey respondents rank order from 1 being awful to 10 being absolutely outstanding. How would you rank your overall personal assessment of local tourism, hospitality, arts, and cultural opportunities in your communities? And again, maybe surprising to some, probably not surprising to others, outdoor recreation opportunities, including trails, parks, non-professional sporting facilities, had the highest overall rank, 7.41 out of 10. Again, indicating that residents throughout the state of Nevada that responded to the survey really highlighted the importance of outdoor recreation assets to their community, and in turn said, hey, everyone involved in developing, maintaining, and promoting those assets really doing a great job with real appreciation by actual residents, not just tourists and visitors and outdoor recreation enthusiasts to the state, but actual residents of the state of Nevada saying one of the big parts of the tourism sector for us, the residents, is the outdoor recreation assets within the state and within their communities. One thing I pointed out, and I still have yet to find a good way to point this out, at Rural Roundup last year, in question 19, we asked the survey respondents, hey, when you engage in outdoor recreation activities, what are you doing? Right? What are you doing as a resident of the state of Nevada? And it's probably the less sexy side of outdoor recreation. As opposed to the tourist, the visitor, the enthusiast that comes to the state of Nevada for an experience, for that once in a lifetime opportunity to do something great outdoors. Our residents within the state of Nevada do engage in outdoor recreation quite frequently, but it's kind of the non-experiential form of outdoor recreation. These were the top answers selected by survey respondents: walking, hiking, general fitness, exercise, picnicking, engaging in family gatherings, were top responses selected by survey respondents, followed by wildlife viewing, bird watching, astronomy, stargazing, which is great to hear for our Dark Skies initiative, camping, and then outdoor photography and related activities, again, making another tie to the creative economy piece of things. So when we think about the economic impact and even community impact that outdoor recreation has, it goes beyond just kind of, the big experience.
but the general contribution that residents of the state of Nevada are looking for to over quality of life within their communities. Now let's talk about the survey that actually relates to this particular study, the overall economic impact specifically of outdoor recreation within the state of Nevada. So shortly after we completed the Department of Tourism and Cultural Affairs survey, we began working and launching this survey for the Division of Outdoor Recreation. Question 14 through 20 of this particular survey asked, hey, when you engage in outdoor recreation activities, what are you spending your money on and how much are you spending money for? Generally, we kind of look, and this is kind of like on a per instant basis. So if people are engaging in outdoor recreation multiple times per year, these numbers start to multiply relatively quickly. But this is kind of on that one single activity, would you spend your money on? And you can see kind of in the broad $100 to $2,500 range is the general expenditure of any individual engaging in outdoor recreation within the state of Nevada. And the good news is that they're spending that kind of in a variety of areas, right? They're spending money on transportation services, gas, diesel, et cetera, for their vehicles, food and drink, both, dining out as well as dining in, overnight lodging, gift souvenirs, other shopping, clothing equipment, and then everything else. And you're seeing, again, that nice range between about $100 to $2,500 per experience trip to the state of Nevada or engaging in outdoor recreation. But again, good variety across multitude of retail and service sectors. The economic impacts of outdoor recreation are not being contained in just one spending category. Those dollars are making their way across a very broad supply chain and value network, again, contributing to the paying of wages and incomes, the creation of jobs, and the growth of small, medium, and even large-scale businesses throughout the state and throughout individual communities. So again, not even just concentrated in a few counties, but really throughout all 17 counties within the state of Nevada. This was the response to the other category of spending. So what are you spending your money on? That isn't listed here. Things like fees, passes, equipment, maintenance, vehicles, those can tend to be kind of big ticket items, or at least, frequent repurchasing where a lot of dollars go. But what's actually kind of impressive here is, again, the wide variety of the other category, right? Individuals, again, are not spending their outdoor recreation dollars in just one area. Their dollars are making their way through a variety of directly and indirectly related industry and occupation sectors. In addition to the survey work and some of the other work we did, we completed what we call a trade area analysis, trying to get a sense of exactly what retail and service sectors individuals are spending their monies on when engaged in outdoor recreation activity. And then based upon these statewide totals, being able to estimate at a county level what the gaps are. Because that's the area and opportunity for economic development initiatives. Nevada's economy, while very broad, is relatively shallow in terms of debt. So it's very leaky. A lot of the dollars that come into the state of Nevada from a broader tourism and hospitality standpoint, and even from an outdoor recreation or even creative economy standpoint, go right back out of the state because we don't have the most expansive manufacturing base. We don't have enough small businesses in retail and service sectors. So what happens, again, those dollars might come into the state, but those dollars then have to go back out of the state to purchase goods and services to satisfy the demand of the individuals engaged in outdoor recreation. Just for retail sector areas, this is based on actual sales by individual retail categories that most relate to outdoor recreation within the states. In 2022, the estimate is about $8.4 billion across the state of Nevada in these individual various retail sectors. Now, it doesn't specifically focus on outdoor recreation. In this noise of data, you're capturing the broader tourism and hospitality sector, but you're also you're capturing resident purchases as well. So you can always kind of look at this as this is the max, right? Economic impact that these contributing sectors have, at least in terms of retail activities. And not surprisingly, again, very similar to what we saw in the survey results as it relates to outdoor recreation, food and beverage stores, clothing accessories, general merchandise, miscellaneous store retailers, and non-store retailers, kind of like the Amazons and the online shopping of the world. Those are the big categories in retail as it specifically directly and indirectly relates to outdoor recreation. Same thing on kind of the service sector side. Again, gambling industries, hotels, motels, full service, limited service, and all other food and drinking places, kind of the top areas. But the service sector, you're looking at about $53.2 billion in total sales. And again, you can kind of think about that as kind of the max overall potential economic impact of the sector, be it outdoor recreation as part of the broader tourism and hospitality sector. And for the state of Nevada, again, we kind of punch outside of our weight class on a per capita basis. It's a population of about 3 million people, generating $61.5 billion in a single year. Again, really helps the state of Nevada on the retail and service sector really punch above its weight class. And that's individuals coming into the state, right? That's the 40 to 50 million people that come to Nevada every single year to engage in tourism, hospitality, outdoor recreation, creative economy activity. And of course, if you're a local government, if you're the state government, that's how we pay the bills, right? Sales tax is critically important to school districts, to counties, municipalities, to the state government. And this was what helps pay the bills and provide public services to individual residents. The idea that was evident in both surveys, both the survey for the Division of Outdoor Recreation and then the previous Travel Nevada Department of Tourism and Cultural Affairs resident survey. Residents of the state of Nevada and individuals who engage in outdoor recreation understand the critical importance of providing public services to support enhanced tourism and hospitality and specifically outdoor recreation activities, and understand the importance of capturing this economic impact to pay for those things. We did this trade area analysis on a county by county basis. So here we are in ELKO. So I thought I would just highlight the ELKO part. And this really speaks to the shallowness of the state's economy and individual county economies. Or maybe a better way to think about it is an economy is a bucket. And as you pour things into it, that begins to build the overall economic impact. But our counties, the state economy has a lot of holes in that bucket. So I'm pouring lots of dollars in ELKO County actual sales. So this is what people actually spent in these retail sectors in 2022. $135.7 million came in, but we anticipated that potential sales could be as high as $335 million. And when you subtract them and get a red number, that's the leakage. Based on actual sales, that's how much money we passed on in ELKO County in 2022 because we didn't have enough retailers here in ELKO County to satisfy the actual demand. So individuals showed up with money in hand, actual customers saying, I would love to spend an additional, 14 million odd dollars on retail health and personal care stores, but you don't have enough of that. So I'm going to go spend that money in Utah. I'm going to go spend that money in Idaho. I'm going to go spend that money online with an online retailer as opposed to businesses here in ELKO County. And that contributes to a 1-year gap of almost $200 million in lost retail impact as it directly relates to outdoor recreation and the broader tourism and hospitality sector. See the same thing in the service sector, although at least in the service sector, we have a couple in the black, not the red. So we did actually able to capture more in terms of actual sales versus potential sales. But overall, just for ELKO County, when it comes to combining the gaps or leakage of retail and service sales combined in 2022, ELKO County missed out on about $237 million in additional retail and service consumption as it relates to outdoor recreation and tourism and hospitality, because we simply just did not have enough commercial retail services here in the county to capture that. And some of that is an educational piece. The business community doesn't understand what's coming in, what's coming out. But it's also a workforce development issue as well. Great, yeah, I could start a small business today. Can I find the 5, 6, 10 people that I need to run the kitchen, to wait tables, to clean the restaurant after hours? No. We face in the state of Nevada a major workforce shortage, which at the end of the day is not the worst problem to have. I'd rather that problem than the alternative of having too many unemployed individuals. But it is a major barrier in addressing that gap. But again, for the folks at GoEd and our regional development authorities, this is kind of your marching orders. This is where we can actually target our business creation, attraction, retention, and expansion efforts to capture more of that economic impact. To kind of wrap this up, working with Radbridge Incorporated, they actually built the economic impact assessment model based upon the data that we collected from Department of Tourism, Department of Taxation, Department of Employment, Training and Rehabilitation, as well as from the survey. Their estimate when it comes to total spending was $4.8 billion directly, indirectly related to outdoor recreation. Total employment impacts, again, that's direct, indirect, and induced. About 46,000 people as it relates to outdoor recreation. Total labor income, this is annual wages collected by workers within the sector, about $2.4 billion. And again, about $923.9 million in tax impacts, both federal, state, local, county, school district, municipality, special districts, directly, indirectly, and induced related specifically to outdoor recreation. So those are impacts pulled out of the broader tourism and hospitality sector and looking just outdoor recreation. And this is 1-year impacts. So this is year after year after year after year. And we expect these impacts to increase again as outdoor recreation becomes a greater piece of the broader tourism and hospitality sector and kind of the broader state economy as well. Some key takeaways just to wrap up. First and foremost, again, as I've already mentioned, outdoor recreation is becoming an increasingly important part of the state's economy and the broader economic base, especially for local communities, counties, and regions throughout the state of Nevada. At the same time, it's also becoming a major driver of job creation and overall employment. And as opposed to other parts of the tourism and hospitality sector, kind of closer to the creative economy piece, we do see higher annual average hourly wages and higher annual incomes for individuals directly working in outdoor recreation as opposed to the broader tourism and hospitality sector. So more jobs, better, higher paying jobs as a result of outdoor recreation. We do see that residents and visitors who are engaging in outdoor recreation activities throughout the states are significant contributors to these levels of economic impact. So again, we definitely want to continue to position the state as a nationwide global leader and destination for outdoor recreation, but don't forget about the local residents. They're depending upon your outdoor recreations as well, and that's a great way to keep their income within the state of Nevada, as opposed to them getting up and going to Utah or California or Idaho or anywhere else to spend their outdoor recreation dollars. Those are dollars we already have in the state, and we can hold on to them by, again, promoting the quality of life that outdoor recreation offers. And again, despite these significant contributors, there are major gaps. We have to start plugging the holes in that leaky bucket to make sure that more of that overall economic impact stays within the state. But we are seeing improvements, right? You know, some of the grant programs that the Division of Outdoor Recreation are leading, the Travel Nevada through the 3D Destination Development Program, the Governor's Office of Economic Development's Main Street programs, they're all tracking towards filling those gaps within the bucket and making sure that more of that economic impact stays within the state of Nevada. But there's still plenty of work to do in that particular space. All right, it was about 4 or 5 years of work summarized in about 15, 20 minutes. More than happy to take any questions that you may have about any of this.
One second. So, obviously, after Lieutenant Governor, so Brett, thank you very much for doing this. This is a really interesting presentation and appreciate your work doing it and coming out to ELKO and presenting it to us. Is there any way the board can get a copy of this?
Yep.
Oh, it is, okay, it's online, okay, so you take a look at it. A couple of comments. So just to remind everybody, we're building these 2 adventure centers in Nevada, one in Boulder City, the other one in Carson City. So Raphael, the retail information in this study should be of interest in who actually goes into those adventure centers and provides a service. So whoever's looking at which individuals, and these adventure centers are about halfway finished. They're really looking nice, but we're gonna have retailers in there. So this information should help drive the type of retailers that we should get in. That's where people want to spend their money. So I just want to put that on your radar screen. And I know this is an economic presentation, but you had that one slide that talked about what people are doing as far as outdoor recreation. Did you ask them or get a sense of what is it that they need from the state of Nevada to get walking locations and hiking locations? Did that come up at all during your survey?
Again, for the record, Fred Stryman, we did both in the outdoor recreation survey and in the travel in Nevada survey. We kind of got into it a little bit more, in terms of specifics of what they'd like to see. And again, it really comes down to enhanced access and more of what's already being offered. So more trails, better lighting, increased public safety, better communication and advertising, marketing, and promotion of the assets that already exist within the state. Individual residents, again, already want to do it. You don't have to convince them to do it. What we have to do is kind of close what we kind of refer to as the last mile, right? How do we get people, especially in our urban population areas, where 90% of the state's population currently lives, how do we inform them? How can they access major outdoor recreation assets, both within the urban environment, but also throughout the state? So the communication piece is critical, but dollars for maintenance and improvement and expansion of the outdoor recreation assets. There was some discussion about fees and cost of transportation. It was one thing we actually saw amongst Clark County residents saying, boy, it'd be great to, go into Nye County, Esmeralda County, Lincoln County, but the cost of transportation, at the time prohibitively high. So there may be opportunities, at least for the local governments, to work together to provide shuttle services to reduce overall transportation costs. But there were no necessarily negative comments, right? No one was saying, well, what you're currently doing sucks. Everyone was saying, what you're doing is great, just do more of it. That way we can continue to access the assets more.
Great feedback. Okay, anybody in this room have any questions or comments? Go right ahead.
Elizabeth Johnson, for the record. I just wanted to add, yes, both presentations, so Fred's and Leslie's, are on Endor's website. So endor.nv.gov, and then if you go to resources and then meeting information, you can see the full PowerPoints for both there. I know a couple people in the room were like snapping pictures of it, but if you want to an easier visual versus the picture on your phone, it's available there. And then just to kind of piggyback on the comment about transportation costs for the NOR grant, that typically is one of the #1 things that these programs ask for, is to help get kids outside, is literally transporting the kids to the outdoor space because maybe their families don't have cars, or there isn't an easy way for them to walk there or ride a bike, or maybe there isn't a bus that takes them out there, and so then they're automatically cut off from that access. So that was kind of just a nice, that you don't always think about those things. We always think about, oh, build more trails, build more parking lots, or but sometimes it's just getting people from where they live to the outdoor space, which can be a big barrier. So.
And just to jump in, I think the technical reports, the 4 or 5 of them as well, are with the presentation as well. So if you're having trouble sleeping, something to put you away, the technical reports will help.
Anybody else in this room? Yes.
Denise Brodeo for the record. Fred, you and I have talked about this before, and that as we continue to see a more bifurcated economy and how that's affecting people that maybe want to do fun things, that outdoor recreation, ask if you agree that outdoor recreation is a more economical opportunity for people to go do activities that maybe they, instead of going to a hotel, maybe they can't afford the hotel, but they can afford a $25 a night camping site instead. So I feel like outdoor recreation kind of fills that gap for people maybe can't afford to do more elaborate vacations. This is a chance to do something a little bit less expensive.
Again, first time in UNR, absolutely. And I think that's why I think it was question 9 of the Travel Nevada resident survey. You saw actual residents of the state of Nevada kind of highlight the non-adventure piece of outdoor recreation. There's reliance on the outdoor recreation assets to fill that need that individual residents have, right? Instead of being, paying $100 a month for a gym membership to run on a treadmill, I will utilize the trail system in my community to get my daily, weekly, monthly walking targets, because it is affordable, it is accessible. And in an area where obviously we're dealing with increased inflationary pressures, individuals may be feeling a little squeezed, being able to access these assets are filling a critical piece, not just in terms of seeking something to do, but actually adding to quality of life of residents within the state of Nevada, because it is relatively less expensive than doing those things by going to a gym, or, going to an outdoor sporting event, or climbing a mountain, or buying tons of equipment. So again, that's why I always say, don't forget about the residents within the state as well when it comes to outdoor recreation. It is a high quality, fairly affordable option for residents throughout the state of Nevada to access. And again, outdoor recreation fills multiple needs, and that's one of those critical needs within the state that ODR really fulfills.
For the biggest takeaways from the impact analysis was 40% of all recreation in the entire state happens in communities, which is only 10% of our population. So those communities are struggling to support outdoor recreation where, that's a lot of activity happening in all these little rural towns. So I know that opportunities like the Main Street program, destination grant opportunities to help build a more robust outdoor recreation opportunity for those smaller towns to provide the services needed, because a lot of them don't even have a restaurant. That is a great example of, like just trying to figure out ways that we as, as board and as, community can help support those rural areas, because if 40% of the outdoor recreation is happening there, how can we be supporting? So I just wanted to point out that statistics. I think it's a big thing.
Anybody else in here? Comments? Online, any comments online? Speak up or whatever you can.
Yeah, hi, Amy Berry for the record. What a great report. That was super interesting. I have lots of questions, which I'll pepper you with on another time, but I guess my question, it was great to see the breakout for ELKO. Can you briefly describe how the other region, like what the individual regions were that rolled up into the state?
So again, first time for the record, we actually performed that trade area analysis for all 17 counties separately.
Okay.
And obviously it's a function of scale, but you'll see almost identical gaps across the state for all 17 counties. Even our large metro ones of Clark and Washington and Carson City, you see those gaps as well. And again, I think that speaks to the state economy and that gappy bucket issue that we have. We just don't have a large enough business sector to really meet the demand of 40 to 50 million people that come to the state every year. So those dollars flow out. But it is completed for all 17 counties individually. So you can see where every county kind of stacks out. Of course, the gaps in linkage get bigger the bigger the county gets. For Washoe and Clark, you're talking billions as opposed to millions or hundreds of millions of dollars for our more rural, smaller communities. So when you get to the smaller counties like Esmeralda and Lincoln County, the gaps in terms of dollar value are much smaller. But again, it's similar. It's just a function of scale moving to different sized counties.
Right.
Anything
And where
else,
can
Amy?
we, oh, I was just curious, where can we find that information? Is it posted online? The county?
So I sent the technical reports to the division and I believe they're posted with the presentation.
These for the record with the presentation or with the economic impact analysis?
I think both, but I can make sure that the technical reports get out.
Right. And then just one last question. Curious, I mean, 920, close to 924 million of tax impacts. Can you put that in perspective for me for the whole state? Like, what's our tax revenue as a state?
Ooh, that's a good one. Fred Simon for UNR. I'd have to look at Department
All
of
right, sorry,
Taxation.
not trying to stump you, just curious, like that looks like a big number. It's close to $1 billion, but curious, how do we fit compared to, other tax drivers in the state? I think that would be really helpful to know.
It is, as a note that nearly $1 billion in annual tax impacts. That's the cumulative direct, indirect, and induced. And that includes taxes paid to the federal government through like income tax, to the state government, to local, county, municipal governments as well. So it's everything. But the report does break it down, how much went to the federal government, how much went to the state government, how much went to county government, school district, city government. And I can certainly put some context as it relates to kind of total tax revenue in that particular year that the state collected, counties collected, et cetera. That shouldn't be a problem at all.
Terrific. Thanks very much.
Anybody else online? Questions or comments?
Hello, Mauricia Baca for the record. Thank you again for this presentation. I look forward to reviewing it again and to diving into your additional documents. You noted they're good bedtime reading. I could definitely use some new reading. A couple of comments. I wanted to underscore the importance of being able to provide transportation, including bus transportation, and the importance of the grants that this entity provides and that others provide to support students and teachers in getting out to these places, because that is such a barrier to access, but it is such an important thing. In addition, educating folks as to where they can acquire the things that they need for camping and the outdoors, I think is something kind of that struck me in terms of putting a pin in it and letting folks know where they can acquire that locally as well, as opposed to always nothing against our online retailers, but maybe underscoring those opportunities to keep some of those purchases local. I was also wondering about your distribution plans for this information. Are you sharing it with chambers of commerce, local county commissions, city councils, and how this information can get transferred over so then it can be really digested by various entities and then perhaps can be, turned from the extraordinary data into perhaps some action plans to address some of the gaps.
Fred Simon, UNR. So we've already done quite a bit of distribution of all the technical reports we've done over the last couple of years. We always send it to the Governor's Office of Economic Development and each of the 8 regional economic development authorities. Do share it with various chambers of commerce, other economic development organizations through the states. Land grant universities, so everything we produce at the Center for Economic Development is a public document. No ownership, no copyright. People are welcome to take, distribute, use, copy, paste, tear apart, utilize pieces, have purchase card, will travel across the states. We do incorporate a lot of this work into a lot of the strategic economic development planning work that you said does. Currently, we're working on new 5-year comprehensive economic development strategies or annual updates for the Southwest Central RDA. That's now in Esmeralda County, for the Lincoln County Regional Development Authority, and for the Northeastern Nevada Regional Development Authority here with ELKO, White Pine, Lander, and Eureka County. So we do get a lot of mileage out of this work that it gets in to our business creation, attraction, retention, and expansion efforts in support of GoEd and the regional development authorities. But anyone who ever wants a presentation, county, city, whomever, again, have P card, will travel. So always happy to get on the road and preach this gospel a little.
Thank you so much.
Anybody else online? Simon here?
I guess as a comment for the record, it's been iterated a couple times throughout this presentation, just the comments, the importance of keeping spending money here in Nevada, not going out, and how do we let people know of those local resources and these local businesses. And just to restate, that is really the main goal of Nevada Trail Finder, is that this is the public resource that is aggregated by the communities, that is the community's product of what do we have in the state. So using this resource again, keep pushing it out there that this is really, a product for the community by the community. And now adding trailside services, we're not showing big box stores of the sporting goods. Everyone knows our goal here for the trailside services is to put businesses on there that you can't what doesn't show up on those advertisements people are spending, all this money for premium advertising for. So again, also where can you find gas stations and what times? But yeah, again, just really, this website isn't just another all trails, it is a community platform. So both for recreational opportunities, getting connected with your local plan managers, and where can I go hang out with Joe from ELKO, the local fly fishing guide, who knows where all the best spots are. Thank you.
All right. Brett, thank you very much. This was very, very informative. I'd encourage the board members to take a look at the study a little bit more in depth. And if you have any recommendations on the things that we should be doing, including you, Fred, if you have any recommendations on what we should be doing based on this study to improve outdoor recreation residents, of course, but also for tourists. Tourists come here for outdoor recreation, spend big bucks. So we welcome them also. So any recommendations, let's bring them back to the board to discuss. So give Fred a nice round. Sounds like you're going on a road trip. Always the state of the All right. Item number 9, presentation by Leslie Creel about the Lamoille Summit Trail System in ELKO. Discussion only.
Is there a pointer in here? I believe there is. Fred, is there a pointer on this? Okay, he's in that. It's okay. Fred, is there a pointer?
Yes, center. It's a laser pointer, but.
Oh, there we go.
I don't know if it'll show up on the screen. Yeah.
For the record, Leslie Creel, actually ELKO Trail System Initiative. We're gonna start just with Hilltop Trailhead as like a focal point, because that's the project that Endor funded. All right, so I'm gonna orient you. We are in ELKO, right there in the middle. I-80 goes along the orange trail that that's highlighted there, and then it takes a dog leg. This orange trail there is actually Humboldt Ruby's trail. It takes a dog leg on the Lamoille Highway, and it goes out to Lamoille. So we're working towards a larger concept. If I could use a pointer here, but the Mile Summit Trail System is where the Hilltop Trailhead is that picture was on, but was of in the first slide. And it's right kind of in the middle in that tan masked section. And down below is South Fork Reservoir. You can see that body of water right down there. So starting there, that's our mountain bike and trail system. We have a regional trail system in orange there that is the Humboldt Ruby's Trail System. So it starts in the Humboldt Ruby's Trail System starts in Carlin, goes to Lamoille, and we will be accessing, hopefully someday, Lamoille Summit Trail System off of that main regional trail. We're going to use South Fork Reservoir here as kind of a marker for your eye for the next slide. And then there's does this work? It would be so much easier. Oh, that would be so helpful. All right, yay. Okay, so right in here is what we call South Hills, and that's between our system that we're developing right now and the town of ELKO, and we have a lot of activity going on right there with our trails. So bringing you back, here is South Fork Reservoir, and here is where we have a lot of, this is a heat map, sorry, from Strava, and just shows you where everything's happening right now. So right in here is where we have a lot of activity, and all this, doesn't have much going on except for cattle grazing. For those of you that are familiar with it, here is Snowball right up here. And again, I-80 cutting through here, Lamoille Highway going down here. And then this is Jiggs Highway right here. No, that's not Jiggs. Jiggs Highway's down here, sorry. Going down here. Is that right? Jiggs, that's not right. Jiggs Highway's right here. No, Jiggs is here. Sorry, guys. That is Jiggs. Okay. All right. So what's happening is we have all of this activity happening right here, and it's getting overprinted by our OHV traffic. We have Ericart Boulevard coming in right here. This is Ericart Boulevard that's cutting right through the center of all that activity. This shows the OHV disturbance that's happening, and that just spills out over our single track. So we're trying to separate out our single track, our non-motorized users from our motorized users. Also, a driver was going over the summit. We had the Southwest Gas Pipeline heading in there around 2019, 2020. And they created this big disturbance path right along Lamoille Highway. And everybody's like, all right, great. They're going to develop a bicycle path that connects us with Spring Creek. And that didn't happen. Southwest Gas was like, yeah, we talked to NDOT about it, and NDOT said, great idea, but there were no champions to make sure it happened. And so ELKO just didn't have the culture. We didn't have people who had an eye on it. So it was an opportunity lost. There was some lost opportunity with getting some infrastructure developed with that project, but it was just a visual that really brought the need for some trail advocacy to the forefront for the community. We also have some issues with just not having trails to get to infrastructure here. And this is outboard from Lamoille Summit Trail System. I'm just showing you the drivers for increased interest here, recent interest beyond the economic drivers. But this guy, I used to see him regularly, I haven't seen him lately, but this is 45, really a 55-mile-per-hour road right here. He would get to the medical center on the highway because if you can see right over here, that this sidewalk just ends right there. So there's just no access. Dr. Hogel, he moved on to Seattle recently, but he did donate significantly to the trail efforts, and he just had like a one place to ride along Old 40 for his adaptive cycling, and not much further than where this dude is. This is Lori Marlowe. She's heading up Lamoille Highway, and you're running along really 65-mile-per-hour traffic right there. So it's a bold person that attempts to recreate this way. So we can do better here in ELKO, I believe. We're a small town, but there's resources out there to make this happen. So I started asking the question, and it was somebody made a presentation to a Rotary Club. I got invited to it because I started asking questions, and the BLM throughout this process, the BLM was like, well, we need a strong community partner to develop this trail system. And nobody knew what a strong community partner really was. So I said, okay, I'll write a letter and say, we want to make this happen. And then they're like, okay, I didn't hear anything, nothing happened. And I was like, okay, well, maybe a petition. So we got a petition, we got 700 people signed on, and nothing happened. And then, after a year or more of conversations with the BLM, we decided we needed a consortium of long-lived community organizations that had the skill sets that would ensure that they had a strong partner here. So we pulled together Nevada Outdoor Schools. Most of you know about NOS. They had a really strong grant management component. We have the Northeastern Nevada Stewardship Group, who's been around since 1999, and they are good with organizing volunteers. ELKO Velo, they had the original concept for the Moyle Summit Trail System, and then ELKO County, Curtis Moore, who's present here, he was instrumental in kind of legitimizing the whole thing, but also being an economic backer and for like RTP grant reimbursement. NOS didn't have the account to just be able to pay off whatever our contractors needed, and the county gave them that confidence that they could handle that. So by 3 years later, we actually, we're making some strides that were paper worthy. And it looks it's fairly simple there, but there's lots of steps along the way, which we're not going to go through all those. But this started off in like 2015, and we got our initiative developed. We developed the MOU with the BLM, got some RTP funding, and that helped. Thank goodness they started funding for planning and design, because in the past it was all infrastructure, it was all construction. So once we got through that, we got the NORI grant, and that was huge in also showing that actually it is going to get built. And it took a bit of a leap of faith, I think, on their part to grant us that money. Felt like it. And especially since it took us 2.5 years, it took some patience on their part as well. But it was really critical in demonstrating that there was buy-in on this project. So we really do appreciate that. All right, so showing the people part of this, this was up in the top left. ELKO Velo were the people that, they said, we want to make this happen. And they really put some effort into making it happen. And then, between management changes at the BLM, leadership changes at ELKO Velo, COVID, it just looked like took a little nosedive, and we picked it back up. And in 2021, we had Kevin Joel out. We thought, well, things are going to happen. It's been a little slower roll than we anticipated, but Kevin Joel came out, had a community trail building day, And we had 18 people show up for a couple days of their time, which was heartening to see that we had that buy-in. Backcountry Horseman is really excited about it. Where LSTS is, it's on a south-facing slope. Part of it is anyway. Good chunk of it is, and that's the first area that's going to dry off for them in the spring. So they're like, that's early season riding. So they went in and they helped flag a lot of trail and have given a lot of input on what they want to see there. And here we are in 2026 out flagging trail, and we'll be having a bigger community trail building day on May 9th. So we're heading into that construction. And so here's the design of it. So again, orienting you, here is Lamoille Highway. Jigs Highway was that road I was confused about coming off. And then here is Hilltop Drive, taking off of Jigs. And right here is the Hilltop Trailhead. So we have a phase A. This is a phase A that the trail designer developed. There's also a phase B and a phase C. So we have like over 100 miles of trail out there planned in concept. And this is what's been approved pretty much by the BLM. There's been some changes based on the surveys that we had done. But we will be working on this 201 trail and this 205 trail right here. And then we have a skills course going in right in the perimeter of that parking area. Kicking it back to the community, we've identified in this process. So the Humboldt Rubies Trail also is simultaneously in a feasibility study process. And so we have, that was with TAP funds that we are doing that study. And DCS is consulting on that. And they said we need to create a logo. So I'm asking for input on this, and I'll pass this out. I'll keep talking. I have a couple more slides, but if you guys are just kind of like, it's been interesting to see what people take on this. I want to turn that. But tell me what you think. And even if you write some notes down on there, so I can bring it back to these high school kids, because they have worked pretty hard on them. But we'll talk about it at the end. So yeah, it's for the whole trail system. So the initial focus is for the Humboldt Rubies Trail, which is our regional multi-use path, that orange one that parallels I-80 and turns down Lamoille Highway. But we want to use it for the trails that were off of it as well. So we're looking for kind of a sub, and these, oops, sorry. And these aren't like finished products for these kids. It was mostly like, okay, well, if you can, you like, I want to give them all suggestions for improving it, and then maybe we can have a vote on it. So this is an iterative phase of it, but we want to have like a recognizable symbol for our trails, and then have like a subheader. We're not sure what it should look like exactly. So it's been another one of our bumbling processes and trying to figure out how this all works. All right, so just showing the growth potential here. This is in the green masking here is phase A, and again, Hilltop Road coming off of Jigs Highway. This is Hilltop Road right here. Phase B, phase C. Right here is where we have all of our existing recreational activity going on right in here. To orient you, well, not to orient you, but to show you the Bullion Hamilton Road. It's a historic road. It goes along the ridge top here. And there's also the Hastings cutoff. The California Trail goes right. I don't see South Fork on here. Anyway, down in here, just down on the southern edge of this map is the California Trail, Hastings Cutoff, and the historic Hamilton Stage Road. Also another historic road cutting through here as well. All right, so just showing what we're trying to connect up here with the whole bigger concept. We only have 1 mile of the HARP Trail in ELKO for a trail. That's all we have. So we're trying to connect up this kind of city structure here with trails like this is a Snow Bowl trail right here with these trails here, making a recognizable system and just coming up with a complete comprehensive plan that we can fill in as infrastructure projects pop up, and we can start getting some synergies with those projects and just identifying the appropriate funding for it. This is just a bit of stakeholder engagement going on right now currently. This was the DCS Consulting. They're doing the feasibility study for the Humboldt Rubies Trail. And just as a final, final closing, ELKO was once a place that people passed through on a trail, and now we're trying to make it a place that invites people to stay. I'll give you, and this is a Sidewinder. This was a problematic trail. It's on the north end of town. This is highly used. People love it, but it's not been authorized. And so we worked through with the BLM. They were really frustrated, with these pirate trails, and we're trying to make it happen on where we're authorized to use them. But people, and it doesn't look like much, right? It's just in the sagebrush, kind of desolate land, but being able to wind through the sagebrush, and it's serene and beautiful to me. Yeah. I don't know. This one didn't work, did it? It was a YouTube video, but
Oh,
maybe.
I think you're just gonna give it a second. It is connected to the internet.
That's cool. If we can play that, but without the volume. There we go. Oh, it's showing up here. All right, maybe not. I don't know. Okay. Well, anyway, there is a video, and you can see it on our Facebook page, and it just shows you the trailhead, because that's all that's constructed really right now. But I guess that's a decent picture of it actually right there. So we do have hitching posts up, and we're where the mule is. That's where the skills course is being developed currently. So I guess any questions, and then I'd like to get the feedback on logos.
Any questions or comments in this room here?
Yeah, Chad Taylor for the record. So I showed up at the hotel on the other side of the freeway yesterday. The first question I asked, if you have any reindeers I could get to go experience those mountains. She politely said, yeah, let me go grab you one. I said, sorry, side by side rental. So the first thought I had when we walked into town is could you take off from here and experience what seemed to be a little further back was the snow-capped mountains?
Mm-hmm.
How far in the travel is that from City Level?
It is to get to like Lamoille Canyon after your snow-capped mountain. So that's what you're talking about 20.
I think it's not that long. The first thing I thought when I was driving through is I want to go see what's in this.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good job. Thank you. It's to know I'm shit.
And so the concept is you can take off from the hotel and ride rather than riding along the highway, because people do that, and I have family members that do it. I've done it, but it's not ideal. The idea is that it would be compelling, it's not really a destination trail to go on the highway, but it's compelling to take off from ELKO and ride up to the top of Lamoille Canyon. It'd be pretty sweet.
Thank you.
Any questions or comments? Go ahead.
All of the Johnson for the record. I should note though that very quickly, you do get into designated wilderness where OHVs would not be allowed.
Yeah.
It's only non-motorized. Once you get to once the car access ends for that canyon, your OHV access would also end. So
But there's a lot of OHV country, this side of.
Yeah.
Yeah, just don't try to go into them for a razor.
I would friend.
Sherry Davis for the record. Have you spoken with Kyle Horvath out of Ely?
Yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Any other questions in here? Comments? Online, anybody online have any questions or comments? Okay, thank you for the presentation. Appreciate it. Any,
But do you have any feedback on the, oh, perfect, thank you. On the logos?
Yeah, you can, after the meeting too, if you want to give us some feedback, that'd be great.
Okay, all right.
Thank you. All right, agenda item, 10, any agenda items, that the board members would like on a future meeting, just let me know. You can state them today, or you can let me know later, or let Denise know anything that you would like on the agenda for a future meeting. We'd like to hear from you. Our next A4 meeting is June 24th, 2026 at UNR. Item number 11, public comment. Any public comment in here? Any public comment online? Doesn't look like it. Okay. I will close public comment, the second one, and we are into adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn today?
No more.
Bill, it's a second to adjourn.
This is Amy Berry. I'll second.
Okay, Chad stated his name. All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye to adjourn. Aye. Opposed, nay. We are adjourned. Thank you very much. Great meeting. Appreciate all your participation. Good stuff done, and we'll now roll Nevada.
Have fun in ELKO, everyone. Sorry to miss you all in person.